Hey guys, A&A here. Six Flags Magic Mountain is Six Flags' magnum opus and is one of their premier parks in the bustling Southern California tourist market. It has one of the greatest and deepest coaster lineups in the world and has a great setting atop a mountain. All of that is cool and all, but Magic Mountain has some glaring problems that really affect the guest experience. So, if I was the CEO of Magic Mountain, what would I do to improve Six Flags Magic Mountain's coasters, flat rides, and overall guest experience in the next 8 years? Well, the first problem is apparent just arriving in the park. The parking lot is a large, old, and aging asphalt wasteland. This lot is more of an apocalypse than the actual coaster. The asphalt is cracked, the parking spots' paint is fading, the lights are outdated, and it's just an overall really ugly. So, for 2023, I would completely overhaul the parking lot along with other entrance improvements, like new paint jobs, new metal detectors, new asphalt, better looking fences, lights, and maybe some grass and trees to break up some of the asphalt and give some shade in the unrelenting Santa Clarita sun. This would greatly improve the first impression guests have entering the park. In addition to this, I would repaint Twisted Colossus, as the blue and green tracks have become really faded, and the grease they use for the chain lift is dripping all over the first drop. Oh, and while we're still at the topic of Twisted Colossus, it has another glaring issue. It does not consistently duel. To fix this, I would have the coaster reprogrammed to make it so it either stops on the lift or the brake run while waiting for the other train. This would slow the pacing even more than it already does, but I think everyone would take a confirmed duel even if it meant a longer intermission in the middle. For 2024, I have a bit of a hot topic. I would relocate Scream to a different park in the Six Flags chain, maybe Six Flags Mexico, Darien Lake, St. Louis, or Great Escape, and put those same floorless trains on Riddler's Revenge. They would have to buy new trains from B&M for the relocated Scream, but it would be cheaper than buying a brand new major coaster. Then maybe retheme Riddlers to a different DC villain, maybe the Joker, as they don't have a riot theme to him yet. Bizarro could work too. I'm doing this to improve guest satisfaction, as I've heard some of the general public find it uncomfortable. Even the majority of coaster enthusiasts find it uncomfortable as well. It would make Magic Mountain lose its 20 coaster status, but that would be fixed in 2025. In addition to this, I would also launch a major advert campaign relating to staff, as many rides and attractions are closed throughout the season because of staffing issues. This campaign would help to fix that problem and would keep attractions running, improving guest experience. For 2025, in addition to new food options and restaurants around the park, I would open up a new VEKOMA family boomerang coaster that could fly around the mountainside in the area around Tatsu. It would be Magic Mountain's 20th coaster and their 6th family/kids coaster. It would also be very different from everything else in the rest of the park. It would be in Six Flags' budget, as these new VEKOMAs are fairly affordable. I could see something similar to Luna at Liseberg, which uses the terrain very nicely and can be fun for even thrill seekers. It could have capacity issues, but maybe a transfer track could be added for 2 train operations. In addition to this, it would be Viper's 35th anniversary. By now, the coaster would be in shambles, with worn trains and tracks. So, I would give Viper brand new trains with the VEKOMA vest restraints to remove headbanging and completely redo the track work, just like what they did with Blue Hawk at Six Flags Over Georgia. Removing Viper to replace it with a new coaster would cost too much money at the chain's current financial state, so it would be better to save some money and continue the legacy of Viper. For 2026, I would redo the area between DC Universe and the ASO Club's restaurant. The carnival rides are kinda ugly and most likely don't bring much revenue. I would put new shops and restaurants here instead, maybe theme it to Gotham City to keep the cohesion between Justice League Battle for Metropolis and the rest of DC Universe by Wonder Woman. Krasanity could get a new theme, maybe to Harley Quinn to match with Gotham City. For 2027, this would be another year for park improvements, including repaints for coasters with fading paints, like Goliath, Superman, Batman, or maybe Apocalypse. It would also include a refurb of Gold Rusher, as this is a park original and it would make sense to keep this classic running for years to come. Other park improvements would include yet another advertising campaign for staff, as the new attractions and restaurants would require more staff. Also, I would refurbish the Magic Mover to keep transportation up the mountain going smoothly. 2028 would be a bittersweet year for Magic Mountain, as I would unfortunately remove Ninja. This coaster would be 40 years old at this point and would reach the end of its service life. It would also be facing low ridership from its age and the fact that there are much better things to ride. So, in its place, I would build California's first tilt coaster. This would be a new age VEKOMA tilt coaster that would have its first drop fly down the mountainside just like Ninja did. It could be named something like Cliffhanger, or could be named Ninja to honor its predecessor. It would also include a refurb of the area around it, reopening the restaurant by Superman that has been sitting dormant for years, and fixing many of the structures in the area that look old and are fading. It would completely turn the top of the mountain from the least popular area of the park to the most popular. Next, I would open up a new flat ride for the 2029 season. a new FUNTIME Skyflyer that would reach heights of over 400 feet tall, making it the tallest of its kind in the world. Unfortunately, this would include the demolition of the iconic observation tower that has stood since the park first opened. It has been in shambles ever since the technology that makes it run become outdated. The price tag to refurbish it would be too great, so the best choice would be to scrap it. In its place would be the tallest swing ride in the world and would give breathtaking views of the park and the surrounding area. This, including the other changes to the mountain, including the new family boomerang, the tilt coaster, the magic mover refurb, new restaurants, new bathrooms, and new paint jobs would make the top of the mountain the hotspot of Magic Mountain. And lastly, for the 2030 season, I would remove JETSTREAM. At this point, it would be very old and outdated. So to replace it, I would build a brand new Intamin Flume coaster. It would be the first launch flume coaster in California and would be very similar to Catapult Falls at SeaWorld San Antonio. This would also include a refresh of the area around it, which would implement new buildings and paint jobs and a brand new station for Gold Rusher. Also, a new Samperla Endeavor would fit nicely here, something like the one at Six Flags New England. This is just to round off Magic Mountain's now elite flat ride lineup. I know the ending was a bit anticlimactic, but that would be my 8-year plan if I was the CEO of Magic Mountain. If this was implemented, the guest experience would be greatly improved, based on a brand new parking lot, better staffing, new restaurants and restrooms, refreshed areas, repaints, new flat rides, refurbished coasters and rides, a VEKOMA tilt coaster, a VEKOMA family boomerang, and an Intamin Flume coaster. And all of this wouldn't break the bank. All of these additions are in Six Flags' budget and are realistic based on what kind of coasters are in the area and what they would have to compete with. So yeah, thanks for watching all the way through. This was a pretty long one. If you enjoyed, a like or even a sub would be cool. Also, write down a comment what you think of my 8-year plan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.